Okay, so I've got these here cannon pumpkins. Had them for a while now. I'm procrastinating on getting them done. I'm gonna puree them up and get them canned. That way we can use them for pumpkin pie, pumpkin roll, pumpkin whatever recipes I need. This is my first time doing this, so it's kind of a learning process. We're gonna learn it together here. But you can see this pumpkin has been washed. I've washed it up, but it's still got the blemishes, like the webbing and stuff like you get when you're growing things. So when I cut it up, pumpkin roll, baby.
You're gonna make pumpkin roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna make pumpkin roll. But I'll remove these as I cut it up to get it processed. So first thing you do is wash them, which I done did. And then you gotta gut and cut them. So I'm gonna work on gutting it here. Hopefully it's still good because I'm a procrastinator. But you know, the puree, the insides is what I really want. So, okay, so anyhow, I guess to gut and cut it, I can't really reach in there and cut it. But, and you know, and these here seeds are great for a dewormer or roasting for snacking. Dewormer for, you know, your critters. Probably warms you out too, I don't really know.
And the outsides can be good for you animals.
Yeah, the outside of the stuff's good for the animals. Chickens really love it, huh? She's very informative, very knowledgeable. She likes to share her knowledge. But anyhow, I'm going to just go ahead and cut this up, and I'll gut it as I cut it here. But I'll just cut it into itty-bitty pieces, and I'm going to process this the ways that there is to do. So one is going to be to put it in the oven at 350 after I cut it into pieces, and it'll soften it. It's got to go for about 45 to 60 minutes to soften it up, but you know, whatever, it'll be fine. But get these seeds out of here, clean this all up. Okay. Okay. That's a whole nother project, but you saw me make seeds one other time. So I'm just going to get a spoon out, and I'm just going to scrape this all up and clean it up real good. And then that'll go into the baking dish at 350. Okay, so I'm trying to peel off all of this stringy as I can. I'm hoping this ain't too dry. I guess we'll figure this out together here on that. But cut it in the smaller chunks, and then I'll get it in the oven. So you can see it's small chunks, and I removed the spidery pieces that I could. But this one's going to be the oven. The other one I'll do in a pan of water. And all of this will go out to the chickens, and they will love me forever. Best chicken mom ever. At least that's what mine think. Yeah, so I'm just going to work on getting this here done. Y'all don't want to watch the process for ever and ever because it's going to take a while. I'm really hoping this isn't too dry, too far gone to use. I mean, it's getting close. So we'll see. We'll see. Lesson learned, I guess. But for that, we're just gonna keep on cranking away at this so that we can figure this out. So the pumpkin chunks is going into the oven, 45 to 60 minutes. I'll check them. I guess I occasionally stir. Like I said, figuring this out together. If you got a surefire way, let me know. That was half the pumpkin, so I still have a whole nother half to go. So I'm going to do 2 pans in the oven, and then this pumpkin over here we'll do in the water. So I'm just going to keep working it up same way, get another pan in the oven going. So on this pan here, I wondered, since this skin is so hard where it's getting on the older side of things, and I don't know how hard it's going to be to puree it up. I mean, it's going to soften it, but I'm going to just peel some of this off and see how it is, see the difference. I like to turn everything I do into a science experiment, learning lesson kind of deal. So with that, I just wanted to share that. We'll decide there when we run it through the puree and machine thing what it is actually looking like. But otherwise, I'm still working on the one that goes in the oven because it's time consuming. So there we go. Alright, so I just put the second pan in. This has been about a half hour. It's roasting, but I don't know how soft I'd consider it. But I guess that's what it is. Getting it. If you can't see it here, you can see where it's roasting. I have pureed it up, smashed it up best I could here, but as you can see, it did not. I mean, these are soft, they're pliable, but they ain't mashable. So I'm just kind of taking the peel out. So it's definitely a better idea, I think, to peel the other, because I mean, I don't want to eat a pumpkin roll with pumpkin peel in it like that. So now I got to sit here and individually remove all of this. Like I said, learn as we go. Sometimes it's better to have all the answers pre-start, because I've just caused myself a bunch of work with this here pan. But as you can see, it's mashed up pretty good. I just got a lot of peel in it. So I'm going to be taking some time and removing this peel out. And as I do it, the pumpkin will go in this jar back here, which should be warm, but by the time I get all this peel out, it's not going to be warm no more. So I'm going to have it at a room temp jar. And then I'll fill it with the pumpkin puree as it's less lumpiness with the peeling in it. So, lesson learned on that one. But here I go. Okay, well, that sucked. Here's my pile of peels. Just slightly less than a pint of puree, which is half a small pumpkin. So I guess it's not terrible, but it's not like super fantastic. And honestly, I only peeled half of these because I wasn't 100% sure it was the right thing to do. Now I'm kicking myself for not peeling all of them. So tomorrow's pumpkin, when I do it, that'll be done different. Meantime, I'm gonna get to pureeing and peeling this mess. Okay, it's been decided that the smart thing to do, instead of smash it all up and then dig in the pile, is to just individually remove each piece of skin from each piece of pumpkin. That was super hot. And it'll be less stressful this way. So, that's definitely a lesson learned if y'all are going to attempt this. Peel your pumpkin. Because this is not a good time. Okay, so those is all peeled up. That does a much nicer of a job. So, guess that's how I'm going to finish this in here off. That's roasting them in the oven, baking them, whatever, to get them soft. This is very time consuming. They better be good. Alright, so with this, I'm sticking it in the pint jar. Get rid of all the air space that you can. Takes a lot of pushing down in there. My whole pumpkin make a pint. So you definitely want to grow plenty of canning pumpkins if you plan to do this. And you got to keep an inch of head space. And to do that, hold on a minute. Get this in here all the way. Okay, so yeah, let me show you. You got your lines here. So start up here and it goes down, and that makes it like 1/4 inch. Keep going 1/2 inch all the way to the bottom. So down through here is going to be right around your 1 inch mark. That's where your headspace needs to be. That way you got proper air in there so that it will seal. So with that there pumpkin, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your towel and you're going to wipe up this whole entire rim so that it's good and clean, so that it will seal. But there you go. That's a pumpkin. Okay, so as I figure this out here, for this in here, I'm going to try to peel it with my tater peeler. I mean, it's got to be easier. It's going to be time consuming, but it's going to make my life easier, I think. Yeah, I think this is the way to take it. And then after I do this, I'll gut it and cut it in pieces, and then I'm gonna boil this one in the water. Almost got it peeled. We're down to this part. Alright, we got a peeled pumpkin, so now we're gonna just cut it open and gut her out.
Yay! My favorite part.
Well, it takes me a while, evidently. There we go. And now I'm just going to clean it like I done the last one. And cut it up, put it in some water. Again, I said that. It's been cut down. And I'm making them into smaller pieces, just like I done on the other one. Except these... I might not... Nah, I won't make them as small because I'm not roasting them. I'm boiling them. But, you know. Anyhow, that's what we're doing since it's all peeled up and ready to go. Okay, I'm just going to fill it up with water, set it on the stove, and boil it till it softens, it says, and then I'll drain it. I'm going to at least completely cover it over. There we go. Okay. It's starting to go, but it's still not soft. So it's boiled till I think it's soft enough, about boiled tater consistency. So I'm going to strain it out here. Whew. Okay. Smoke up the phone. Jeez. Anyhow, I gotta get all the water out of it and then we'll puree it up. Okay, so it's mostly all out. I'm just gonna spoon it out the rest of the way to make sure I don't get water in it. You can see it's working up pretty good here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, looking good. Looks like I'm getting a lot more pumpkin out of that one too, and it is the same size, so there we go. Hot, very hot. Okay, and then with that, I'm just gonna start mashing it. There we go. I know what I mean, huh? Now you can see, just like I done yesterday. Mash it. I'm gonna put it in the hot jars. Then they were already in the oven, so I'll take them out. Ooh, hot. Yeah. So anyhow, that's it. Get them in the canner. Okay. Anyhow, you can see how mushy it's getting here, and I'm fixing it. Oh, get the jar out. And this is hot, so it does gotta go in a hot jar. And then into the hot canners. Looks like baby food. Okay, get my jar out of the oven. Ooh, careful, careful. Bring it to here, where I will then fill a hot jar with hot pumpkin puree.
Microwave almost. It's almost there. Oh,
Anyhow, same as yesterday. Everything else is like this is the same except for the prep of the pumpkin. So I don't think y'all care to watch it twice. Okay, so jars are in here. You see I got 5 of them. Anyhow, they're hot. And this is the jar lifter. Down here is your rubber grippy part. You can see it's closed, shaped like a circle. It grips right onto your jar, picks it up. Up here is your plastic handle part. It's round and has no grip to it, and therefore that's what you hold on to so you do not lose your jars. But place them in the canner after I added about 2 inches of water, and I have it on, and then I'll get ready to put the lid on it. Okay, and here you see an arrow, and then on your lid, find it, is an arrow right here, and that's how you line them up to know to put it on. So it's arrow to arrow. Line it up, put it on there, and now it's locked in place. If it was light, oh goodness, pick it up like it just by the top handles. It's locked in place. Safety mechanisms. It's got little ridgy things, rubber seal to it. This here is a safety piece. It'll pop up. This here will start wiggling in, and then it'll pop up, and then that'll help lock it and make the pressure in it. And then when this pops up, that's when I will put the weight on. When the weight is on, that still don't mean your time starts, but because these are pints and half pints, it's 60 minutes in here. And it's a puree, so I want to make sure it goes all 60 so the heat gets all the way through it, so it doesn't make me worry about the botulism or any of that there stuff. Okay, you can see here that that's popped up now. This has had steam escaping. You can catch it from a certain angle. There you go. Anyhow, it's ready for the weight to be put on. Okay, this is what you call jiggler weight. This is your weight here. This is like 5 pounds. And that's it. Then you got this here ring that goes on it, and this adds another 5 pounds of pressure weight. It's not actual. So this is your 10 pounds of weight. So when it says 10 pounds of pressure, the 10 pounds of pressure, that's what this means. It is not 10 pounds. But it just goes right over the top of this here. And when that starts jiggling, that's when the time starts at 60 minutes. But meantime, I just wait for that now. But like I said, that's popped up and it's steamed. And if you can see, this here's popped up now. And that'll all come down after the cooking and stuff is done. But when this starts jiggling, I'll show you. You can see it's wiggling, jiggling. That's what it does. That means it's at 10 pounds. You don't want to go much more than that because that's over 10 pounds of pressure then. So I always decrease the heat a little bit. As long as you stop movement in it, it's 10 pounds. So then I'm going to set my timer for 60 minutes, and then I don't do nothing else, and make sure that stays a jiggling. Okay, time is up, and I turned it off. You can see it's starting to slow down. Now I'm going to remove it from the heat over to a little trivet thingy so that it can cool down. Pressure will drop, and then once it drops, I'll show you how you know it's done and open her up and get the jars out. So this is done. Now notice that this here's down again and that this is back down. That means that the pressure has released out of the pan and we can open it up. So remove your gauge, your weighted jiggler or your gauge, whatever you have. And then you take and you just twist your handle where the arrows will line back up again. Careful to open this away from you because you will scold yourself bad. So anyhow, just finagle it and open it. And there are my jars right in there. And then I just remove them with my jar lifter like so. And then I will just place it over here on this towel.
I can barely reach the bottom.
Okay, so leave space between the jars so that it allows for even cooling. Just leave them set like that. You'll hear them start pinging and popping, and they're sealed. And then you've got your own shelf-stable pumpkin puree. When I go to use it, we'll do a video and see how it actually turns out, because I ain't about to open this just to check it. But there it is. So while I have this going, because I have jack-o'-lantern seeds and stuff, I am going to go ahead and save back a bit of these here seeds for planting this year so I can grow my own cannon pumpkins versus buying them at the farmer's market. So I'm just going to save me back a dozen or so of these. And that's simple to do. You know, I already removed them. So I just got them here. I'm just going to set them out, let them get dried up, and then I'll put them up, and then I'll get them started this spring. But that's it to saving these, is just remove it from the pumpkin. And then set them off to the side. Make sure you label them cannon pumpkins so you don't forget what they are.